What is going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision, your daily source for knife and EDC content. Today, I have a new knife here to share with you all, and this one is coming in from Tenable. This is a highly anticipated knife for many folks out there. It's a knife that I have been waiting on for a couple of months to get released here. I know Tenable has been waiting on these to get stateside, and they finally showed up here. We got all kinds of goodies, extra Omega springs, little bit of paperwork here, and then we have our knife here. This is going to be called the Eaglestrike. And just take a look at this handle. So that is going to be anodized aluminum. I believe they have aluminum and micarta variants. This has a really nice raised diamond-like texture to it. That is really nice looking. I believe these are going to run a straight 70 across the board, no matter if you're looking at aluminum or the micarta. We are looking at steel liners here, and we do have a steel backspacer here as well. We are going to be looking at Nitro V for the blade steel, which is a fine steel for this price point. And then we have a beautiful drop point blade that is going to be nice and pokey. We have that nice consistent edge all the way up to the tip there. Black wash finish on this particular version, but they do have, however, some uncoated variants. And then we have a really nice sharpening choil here. We are looking at dual thumb studs for the deployment, and that is an adjustable crossbar lock there. A very clean looking knife, black hardware, black liners, black crossbar lock. Just a really good looking knife. Now, to top this thing all the way off, we are looking at a milled titanium clip. It is going to be right hand carry only on this model, but man, they are really putting out the bang for the dollar with some of these knives. Nobody has really competed with Miguron when it comes to materials and a good price along with a milled titanium clip until Tenable came along. Now I can tell you this is going to be over 8 inches here. It feels very good. Let's get an accurate measurement here. We're looking at 3.5 inches of cutting edge, 3 3/4 inches of total blade, and that bad boy is coming down there right at 8 1/4 strong. So we have our comparison knives here. We got the Kaiser Drop Bear up top and the Kaiser Militao here on the bottom, and you'll see the Eaglestrike here is larger than both of those. And we'll bring out the big boy in the CJRB frac, and we have the Benchmade bug out here on the bottom, and you'll see this falls right in between both of those. Quite a bit bigger than the bug out and just a tad smaller than the frac, and the frac is a big folder. We'll go ahead and see what this thing looks like in the pocket and check our retention here on our clip. I like how that comes down to a nice point to start. And then because of that raised texturing, that is definitely going to aid in keeping this thing from moving around in the pocket. But that is going to look really nice, really clean. You'll have a little bit of the scale poking out there or a little bit of the knife, and you'll see, depending on what variant you get, in this case, the green aluminum poking out looks really good. You have a nice little spot here to grab a hold of this thing, to pull it out of the pocket. We'll check retention on the way out, and very good retention. It doesn't feel overly done. No. So you got a nice clip in there. Going to have plenty of room to get this over almost every pant seam that I could think of, at least. As far as our crossbar lock, they really do a good job there at Tenable. We're looking at concept. I mean, it's concept build quality. It's just we're looking at a little bit different materials and price point, but it is still concept that is making these knives. We'll go ahead and get a weight check on this feller here. We do have the aluminum over top of the steel, and we do have a steel backspacer in here as well. This is going to be a hefty bugger. The micarta one is obviously going to be a different weight than this one here. This one is easily 4 ounces. Let's say we always play it safe and we're usually wrong. Let's go 4.5. Oh! Ooh, that's a couple in a row that I've been really close on. How do you like that, baby? We're looking at 124 grams here for everyone else and 4.4 ounces. So it's got a little heft to it, which is a good thing. The next thing we'll get a look at here is our handle thickness. We're zeroed out. It's not overly thick for sure, even with the steel and aluminum coming in there at a very solid 0.50. So that's a good thickness. It's for that handle. We'll go ahead and check our blade stock, which is not thick at all. There at our thickest part, we're looking at 115 thousandths. We don't have a real tall blade, however. Let's get a behind the edge thickness and let's work our way down there. And that's coming in about 20 thousandths there in that particular spot with that particular hold. But let's see how this thing cuts out of the box. So we have our SMKW catalog here, and let's see how this thing pokes. Going to be a nice poker there. Go ahead and check the rest of that edge. Stay out of that sharpening choil, which is very nice, by the way. I know that's one thing the old timers, I guess you could say, of the knife world have often complained about with Concept is their sharpening choils. But over the last year, have they been perfect? No. But they have gotten a lot better at some of the smaller details of the things that go along with the knife, and routinely they have been doing a solid job. This has a really nice edge on it, and it's going to be a great poker. Now, we'll go ahead and get a look at our centering. Everything looks good, even after all that fooling around we've done. We don't have to worry about any detent lash because this knife doesn't have a detent, but it does have a spring. And as I said, these are adjustable, so you can make this a little lighter if need be, and you could strengthen it up a little bit as well. Got a pretty good spring in there. I will probably strengthen this one up, make it a little stronger, although on the flick, it really feels good. So maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll have to see. I might change it, but that feels really good. They have that chamfered out nicely, so you can easily get to that stud, whether you want to come up from the bottom or come out from the side there. And then it's going to be the same deal on the flip side. You'll be able to come up underneath of it, or you can come from the side, whichever you prefer. They have them placed well and plenty of access. Now, we need to check that lock, make sure that is going to hold up. These are going to be, I think, very popular once these get out into people's eyesight here. And I expect Tenable has sold out a lot of models over the last couple of months, like sold completely out. And then people are like, oh, I wish I would have picked one up. Well, you know, if you think this looks good for you, I wouldn't wait around unless you don't mind waiting, because there's probably a good chance once these get out there and get out and about, go across channels, these will probably sell out, in my opinion. Now, I will have this link down below, and I do have a coupon code for Tenable's website, not the Concept website, not the Concept EDC website, but the Tenable website, and I believe that's 10%. So that'll knock a couple bucks off the 70. Let's go ahead and see how this thing fares here. We'll start out at the tip, give this a couple of pops here. Good, it sounds good. Give it a couple of good ones there. Close it, check it. Very good. Very good. Now we'll run this thing through a couple of our normal tests. Make sure everything is continuing to work properly. I don't feel any movement in there. That feels really good for a crossbar lock. No side to side movement, no up and down movement. Nice sharpening choil there. As far as our action goes, everything feels really good. Crossbar lock closing is all about timing there. Let off at the right time, and that will close it right up. But that is just something you have to toy with. This is awesome. 70 bucks. It's a great size, over 8 inches. It's got a hefty feel to it, coming in at what, 4.3 or 4.4 ounces. So you got the aluminum, but you got the steel backing the aluminum up. You got a nice little backspacer in here. It's going to feel good in hand. If you like a little bit larger knife, you like something that's got a little heft to it, this is going to be a nice little EDC knife right here. Fairly thin blade stock, just a no frills type of EDC knife. I've been waiting on these to become available for a couple of months now. I think these got held up somewhere along the lines, whether it was coming over here or when they got here, but I know Tenable had some trouble getting them into their warehouses here stateside, but they are here. They are available, and I believe there's several different versions of this as well. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any Tenable knives, and if so, which ones. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new to my channel here and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe or click that G-Ball Vision logo popping up on your screen. I'd love to have you here. There's a couple of new videos popping up along with that G-Ball Vision logo. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.